Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my name is Jean-Claude Rinda. So I'm conducting this interview and I want to interview you because I'm collecting some information about crowdfunding. So different types that people have been using while they collecting money. So, and I wish to have this interview with you as you are the person who experienced this field, as the person who look the ways to raise the capital. So before getting started, and I would like maybe to read the consent, and then you confirm that you are ready for this interview.
Okay.
So you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting my my invitation. So today is 20th November, and my name is Jean-Claude Rinda. I'm a student in the Bachelor of Arts, Business Management with concentration in logistics and operations with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. So I will record this interview and use the information in the article I'm writing for research project. The article and the recorded interview will be submitted to College for America so that my work as an interviewer or writer can be evaluated. So this recording will be used solely for this purpose. So the interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only evaluator and the College for America staff will have access. So before we're going further, I would like to know if you have a question. Do you have a question?
So no, not yet.
So do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yeah, thank you. I, Rafiki Shaka, I give my consent to be interviewed by Jean-Claude Rinda. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And welcome to today's interview. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about crowdfunding. So I would like to know if you are ready so that we can get started.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to ask you the first question will be, what is the difference between loan and equity crowdfunding?
Okay, thank you so much, Claude. I think the difference between the loan and equity crowdfunding is that the loan crowdfunding is based on the where you get the lender where the lender can give you the loan, such as the banks, and where you have to repay the loan with the interest. While the equity crowdfunding is where you work with the investors who can invest in your company so that they can have the ownership in your company, like they can have the shares, and then meaning that the capital is exchanged with the shares or your property. So meaning that the equity involves the investment or investors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shaka. So thank you very much for the clarification about equity crowdfunding and loan crowdfunding. So I'm going to ask you the second question. Why is it important to use crowdfunding while starting a business in Rwanda? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the great question. So it is very important for using crowdfunding by using above types. So this helps you to raise the capital, meaning that it helps you to give the money or the capital to start your own business without meaning that you have the retro money to start your business, your personal capital, but you need the adequate or enough capital to start your own business. So it is very important for the entrepreneurs or business startup to have such a capital or funding to start their own business effectively. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Shaka. You mean like maybe using crowdfunding in Uganda is like helps you to raise capital. This is an easy way of raising capital. So again, this is like the easiest way of marketing even your product or ideas by pitching to different investors. So this is the best way of starting a business without maybe, even when you don't have enough capital maybe to start your business. So thank you very much, Shaka, and I'm going to ask you another question regarding crowdfunding. So what people should base on while choosing crowdfunding type to raise funds?
Okay, thank you. I think people should base on choosing the best crowdfunding type, like either equity or loan. They have to consider how much capital they are going to give me, what are the advantages and disadvantages of such a crowdfunding type, like how would this capital I'm going to use will be benefit my company. Am I going either to use the equity so that investors are going to have my shares? Am I going to use the loan so that I can have the access or the ownership of my business? So you have to consider how much you are going to get, when you are going to get, and what the benefit are you going to use from such a crowdfunding. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Do you mean like maybe if someone feel like, so I want other people to have shares, so let me use like, equity, but when you feel like, so I can pay back all those money that they have maybe funded. So let me use like a loan. Do you mean that? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So let me ask you another question. So what was the challenging moment when you were choosing one of the crowdfunding type?
Thank you once again. So the first challenge that I have faced, actually I have used once I have used the equity crowdfunding, but the most challenge that I have faced is that the investors could have like 30% of my shares in my company, meaning that they are going to invest in my company, but they are going to have like some shares that can, of course, lead me to raise the capital for the company, but they are going to have the ownership. They are going to have their voice in my company. So that's the most challenge. But they also like having their voice in my company, where they can have like some decision making in my company. Yeah, that's my challenge. But they give me what I call my capital that I want.
Yes, for sure. So of course, these are the challenge that you mean maybe you faced. So, and this is like the follow-up questions. So for the crowdfunding type that you used or you chose, so have you ever maybe noticed some challenges or some issues associated with that chosen crowdfunding type?
So if I do understand, you are asking different issues associated.
Different issues associated with the crowdfunding type that you used to raise your capital.
Yeah, of course, as I said, I actually experienced in equity crowdfunding. So the issues I experienced is like that. Most of the time, that when you don't have the business plan that actually can convince your investors, you are going to lose like some money, because they are going to consider your business plan or your business model. But I have like some of my friends told me that for the loan crowdfunding, sometimes they don't consider like they consider your business model, but sometimes they don't consider. So the issues associated with the crowdfunding is that when you don't have the Scrabble the Scrabble business model or business plan, we are not going to have such a capital. And another issue associated with the equity crowdfunding is that sometimes you have to have the shares with others. You have to divide with the investors. So that's one of the challenges I have faced.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. So, like when you are using this kind of crowdfunding, we need to target the people who are going to invest in our business or in our new venture. So, and I would like to know there may be how you maybe if it happens when maybe a time that you failed to approach the right investors.
Okay, thank you. So the time that I failed to approach the right investors is
Yeah.
like that. I choose the long investors, the one who like actually ask the high level of the shares in my company.
Yeah.
So they are going to invest in my company, but they are asking more like having the thousand of like millions of capital,
Yeah.
or they are going to have your shares. So I approached I tried to approach the right investors, the
Yeah.
investors actually who needs like the profit in your company, but don't consider the win-win situations. So
Yeah.
that's the time where I faced with the long investors who can actually like just need your shares. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, thank you very much. Do you mean like maybe there was a time that you target one of your investors and then he wanted more than
Yeah,
maybe the shares that you expected to give out to your investors. So of course
yeah,
that is a long investor.
and it's actually like ending in like without I end up with disagree, and you have to consider another investors who can
Yes.
actually consider my concerns and to have the like win-win situation. So
Mm.
that time, the first time I chose the long investor, but the second one was like the professional, the one who can consider our win-win situation. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Shaka. And so I'd like maybe to ask you the last question. So everything what we do things which was maybe done or which were maybe done by other people. So what we do is like emulating or copying to what others are doing. So as we are doing business, there are some people are doing business. So I would like to know if maybe you have noticed the common mistakes that people commit while raising their capital.
Yeah, of course, as I said, some startup business, they like consider like the long investors, as I said.
Yes.
Also, they don't like before they approach the investors or the lender who are going to give you the money,
Yeah.
like the banks and so on. But you never like plan your business plan. You will never plan how you are going to repay the money. You don't show how the cash flow are going to pay your loan.
Yeah.
So the most mistake that he faced is like they don't uh, consider the business plan. You have to create the business plan that shows that you are going to pay the money.
Yes.
Another mistake is that they they choose like the long capital like the funding option. You know, there is some you can get the loan from the commercial banks, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
from
Yeah. Yeah.
the normal
Yeah.
banks. You can also get the loan from the families or friends.
Mm.
You can also get loans from uh, different companies, like non-profit business companies that are going to give you the money. But so sometimes you choose the long option. You choose like the family uh, option that which is not professional. That can also end up your friendship once you didn't repay their loans.
Yeah.
So sometimes those are the major mistakes that they failed like uh, committing. They commit once they never like plan their business model, their business plan, to convince the investors or the lenders. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shaka, for your interview, and thank you very much for your contribution to my academic growth. So I'm quite sure that all those information that you shared with me, all those questions that asked and you answered are going to help me to grow, and I'm going to maybe to change people's lives. I'm going to change people how people perceive the business and how people perceive ways of raising their capital. So thank you very much for today, and thank you very much for contribution.
Thank you so much.
So if maybe you have a question before we end this this interview. So maybe you can tell me and then we end it.
No, there is no question. I think everything's clear.
Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.